Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. Azar Salesman.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
They're just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smells like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. They're just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh.
Arranger and stuff like
All right, silence you. We're starting the podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point and Click Podcast. My name is John the Wise, and I have with me Czar Salesman,
that. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
and we have with us special guest TeeWhy. Thank you so much for joining us, bud.
Hey, I'm really happy to be here on the Wise and Sassy podcast. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
wait
wrong
a
one. Whoops.
Oh,
Whoops,
shit.
we messed up the booking, dude.
Oh, damn it.
He was supposed to
Fuck.
jerk me off on my other podcast, and we were going to
Fuck,
record
I
it.
thought Zara was the sassy one. I thought that's where.
I mean, he is sassy.
That's
for
how it
sure.
goes.
He is
Oh,
sassy.
okay.
For
I
sure.
gotta fire my manager.
Yeah, 100%. But thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being here. Sorry, last week we totally flubbed it. You know, I blame Czar 100%. I blame Czar.
Listen,
Absolutely.
so do I.
Yeah, you know, because he's like, hey, we're going to have TeeWhy. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. And then he's like, oh, so you didn't confirm? I'm like, no, you are the one.
That's your job, John. That's
Yeah.
your job.
Yeah, I'll add that to
You guys,
my...
need, you guys need to fire your manager too.
Add
Dude.
that to all your list of responsibilities.
Yeah, I'll add that. I'll add that one next time. But we're here, we're queer, and we're ready to steer this podcast into the direction that it's supposed to be in, which is gaming news and industry news. I don't know what's going on with Discord right now, but your guys' video keeps like getting stuttery. I don't know what the fuck to do. Should I change the region
Discord's just been goofy, I think, the past couple days.
back? Okay, we
I mean,
can try.
I think as long as the audio's chill, I think.
Yeah.
As
we're
long
okay.
as the audio works.
The audio works, so sorry to all you video watchers, but we'll try to button that shit down next time. For now, stop crying. All right? Here we are. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. Czar, tell me something about your week that will make me feel good about myself.
Yeah, good luck with that. I didn't do fucking shit. Played a lot of Risk of Rain,
Oh.
and today I'm going to be working on my cabinet doors because we've been redoing our kitchen.
Gay?
So, got a lot of shit to do still.
Yeah, I understand that. What about you, T?
Oh.
Anything crazy?
I'm fighting off a cold.
You're fighting off a
That's-
cold?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, I guess.
That sucks, man.
That's
You know-
radical.
What sucks about having a cold and having a kid is you're like, please don't give it to my kid. Please.
Oh, I know.
What do you do about that? Because we haven't gotten to that situation yet where all of us are sick.
Isolate. Wash your hands.
You just put them down. At that point, it's over. If they
No,
catch
I mean, like, it almost happens every single time, right?
Yeah.
And all you can do is like what you would normally do to prevent it for other people, like wash your hands like constantly. You know, don't sneeze on them, of course. Try to take care of yourself as best you can, and like just fingers crossed, because their immune system's still developing and everything. And like I'm not a fucking doctor or an expert by any means, but
What?
put on one of those.
it's a lot.
Put
It's
on one of those face masks and wear some gloves all the time.
Like the Asians do.
I wouldn't go that far, right? But
Mhm.
I mean, it's so much easier to take care of yourself when you're sick than to try and take care of your little one when they're sick, because
Yeah.
it's just it's a nightmare.
And then you're like, dude, should I give him Tylenol? I don't know. It says it's safe, but I don't know if it's safe. You worry about all this stupid little bullshit. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, just fucking put 4 pills in my mouth. Who cares? But when you have a
Right.
kid, you're just so worried about every little thing, dude.
Yeah, like with the Tylenol, you really just got to call the doctor and be like, "Hey, is there something I can give him?" And usually they'll say it's like, "Oh yeah, you can give him the like the like the oral stuff, like
Yeah.
the liquid Tylenol or whatever, in like a very small amount via a syringe."
Yep.
And usually that's okay, because I know my daughter's up to the point where she can have like 5 milliliters of Tylenol, but she's almost 2, so
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I gave when he was 4 months, I gave Donnie some liquid Tylenol, and then I read the box and it said for 6 months and up, and I was like, oh my god, did I just kill my son?
Oh my!
Did I just kill him? And I was watching him like intently, like if he does anything weird or different, like straight to the hospital. But he was fine. He was totally
yeah,
fine.
like as long as it's a small amount, like less than a milliliter or like around a milliliter or whatever, you should be fine.
Yeah, I gave him like half the dose that I recommended, just to see what's up. Anyway.
Yeah. Don't worry about it then, because that's even what like my daughter's doctor recommended, is like starting out there and seeing how she did with it,
Yeah.
especially when she was like teething and when she was getting sick and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the
she's
worst.
a miracle worker.
Yeah, that's the worst. Yeah, I gave it to him when he got his fucking shots, dude. So, yeah,
Oh yeah, I feel you.
You know?
I feel you.
we vaccinate, okay? We're not anti-vaxxers. Did we make a mistake, Czar? Should I have not vaccinated my kid?
Yeah, autism is setting in.
God damn
Trust.
it. I knew it. He was really good at math, and I was like, wait a minute.
How old is he?
I didn't teach him math. How does he know math? But he's really bad at everything else.
Yeah, can't recognize facial features.
He can't walk. What an idiot.
Yeah. Dumbass. But anyway, TeeWhy, you just rebranded yourself. You were AKA the artist formerly known as Strafe.
You mean Straffy?
Yeah, I mean,
Straffy.
was it Straffy? Because like you would say
No,
Strafe,
So it absolutely was supposed to be Strafe, right?
but you put an E. You
And-
fat finger to the E, and you hit enter. You're like, damn it.
So like little bit of history here for you guys.
Let's do it.
Back
I
in
don't
the
like
old
history.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Moving on. Where's
No,
the news?
I like
Oh, okay.
history.
Oh, okay. So back in the old Xbox days or whatever,
Mm,
when you had gamer tags and everybody played on an Xbox because that was the place to be at the time. My brother and I were making our gamer tags, and we were kind of thinking like, well, what looks cool? Because we were playing semi-competitive Call of Duty, and we were trying to think of like how to basically brand ourselves. So he went with Tracta, which is like just basically tractor with 2 A's.
yeah.
So and so I was like, oh, well, maybe I should do something similar. So I went with Strafe because it applied more to video games, but I did 2 E's. But then it just so happened like everybody could say Tracta just fine.
Yeah.
But when it came to Strafe, everyone was like, oh, this is obviously 2 words that need to be pronounced separately.
Yeah.
Straffy.
Straffy.
And so eventually it just kind of, I guess, devolved into everybody saying Straffy, or some people would say Strappy. They would
Strappy.
they wouldn't even pronounce the H. And so you got to the point where it's like, well, do you spend the rest of your time correcting people, or do you just, do you change it, or do you just lean into the curve and like, yep, I'm Straffy, you got me. And
Well-
so it got really discouraging hearing people say Straffy all the time, or like, if I hosted somebody on Twitch, they're like, oh, thanks for the host, Straffy, and it was just like,
It's funny
just
because
like-
then I would correct people. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, this Straffy guy wants to like join our group," and I'm like, "It's Strafe," and they're like, "But there's 2 E's," and I'm like, "I don't know the story, but it's Strafe, all right? God damn it!" So now
Right,
you
and
got us
so-
correcting people.
Right. So, and it like nobody wants to do that, right? So I thought, like, what can I do that would help me and then stop all this bullshit?
Yeah,
And so I still took a gamble with the name that I did, like being TeeWhy, right? Because people could still
Yeah.
probably somehow fuck that up.
but
too.
it makes sense because your name is Ty, so it's like T and a Y,
Right.
so TY. I get
Yeah,
it.
it took me a week to realize
I
that.
just realized it like literally 2 minutes ago.
Right, and it's also, you can also say it's a double entendre too when it's on Twitch, because it's TYGG,
Yeah.
which when you're on the internet or whatever, if people say like TYGG, it's thank you, good game.
Yeah.
So not only is it my name, but it could be applied to video games.
You
as
son
He's
of a
four
bitch.
levels deep. He's 4 levels deep, John.
Dude,
We gotta pull
so
out.
fucking
We're not ready for this.
I went from Straffy to just a fucking wild.
Dude,
here,
you're so deep I might get pregnant. I don't know what to do, man. That's awesome though. But yeah, for you, those of you that don't know, Ty is the brother of our friend Insomnia. That's how pretty much all of us met.
He's just the brother of our friend. He's not our friend.
No, he's not our friend. He's the brother of our friend.
Right.
Yeah.
I want that to be very clear.
I have said on record that I think you're better than your brother in every facet of and way. So that's just my opinion,
Wow.
and I want to put that out there. And I've
Wants to
told
lay
him
it on the table,
I've
flop it
told him that I was like, hey, dude, I like your brother more than you, and he was like, okay, I don't know what to do with that information. I'm like, well, I just want it to be known. All right, that's it, on record.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about what you stream and what you do. Do you do other content, YouTube, anything like that?
So I don't do YouTube. I've thought about it, but then at the same time, I'm thinking like, what do people put on YouTube, right? And then it's like usually they do like game playthroughs and they do all this other stuff, and I'm not consistent enough. And I guess that would apply to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at somebody like Markiplier, right, where it's like he obviously doesn't sit there all in one sitting and play whatever game, right?
Mhm.
He uploads them into different parts, and it's like, oh, that's smart, right?
Yeah.
I could do that. But then I'm thinking like, I mostly play World of Warcraft. Nobody wants to watch that shit. Right?
Yeah, unless something
true.
hilarious happens. And that's usually
Right.
like in comms, somebody says something funny, and then you just clip that, you know?
Right, absolutely. And like if you look at most World of Warcraft content, it's like, they're informational videos, they're satire videos, or they're like news videos. So it's like,
Yeah.
or they're guides. Guides are the big thing that people do, where it's like, oh, new raid is coming out, like let's post a guide. Which there's some new content coming out for WoW in a couple of weeks now, and there's already like those videos where it's like, hey, this is how you do this boss, like hopefully because Blizzard doesn't change stuff, or like talking about the new patch or whatnot.
Yeah.
The one thing you could do that I've been playing is the Division 2, but at the same time, it's kind of the same shtick. It's like,
Yeah.
nobody really wants to watch you run through like an incursion or watch you run through an invaded mission or whatever. They want to know like, oh, how do I get this secret gun? How do I crack these codes? And it's like there's stuff in the game where you can get these things called hunter masks, where you kill these NPCs called hunters, which are basically like division agents that are just a high level, high armor, and they act like players do.
Yeah.
And if you kill the hunter, you get his mask. And there's like some crazy shit where it's like, go to this part of the map, shoot out this light, salute the memorial, and then it'll spawn. And it's like, I can't figure that shit out to make a video about that.
Yeah.
God bless the people that do, because I'll watch that video and be like, oh, I'll go sweep all the fucking hunter masks in one day. But trying to figure that out, that's some like data mining level shit where it's like,
I know, man.
oh, there's an entire Discord dedicated to World of Warcraft secret hunters, where they're like, oh, you have to go to this bookshelf and loot this red page, and this page, by looting this opens up something from 4 expansions ago where you walk down there and you loot this, then that opens something from just last expansion where you loot that, then that opens this where you do this little bejeweled mini game, and then you get a mount.
Yeah.
What the like, who the fuck is honestly like
I
looking
know.
that up and figuring that shit out? That is incredible that people are doing that. But at the same time, that's not something I'm gonna devote my life to.
No, hell no. Have you guys heard of this? Have you guys heard of this game called Hong Kong? Fuck, man.
Fooey?
No. It's
Oh, damn. Okay.
Hong Kong 92 or something like that. It was this game made by a famous Japanese actor, and the idea of the game was for it to be so hard that it's just stupid hard. So by the time you finish the game, you feel like you've achieved something. But it was honestly just, by the time like it was all over and everything, everyone realized that this guy was just trolling everybody, because the JonTron made a really good video about it. It's considered the hardest game in the world, but it's hard for the stupid. Hong Kong 97. Thank you, Prince.
Okay, good, because I googled Hong Kong 92, and the only search result I got was men beaten and robbed after trying to buy 92 Jackie Chung tickets.
That's the one. Anyway, so I mean, it's the same thing, right? Nah. But pretty much, Hong Kong 97 is this like game that's so stupid hard that it doesn't make any sense, and it's one of those games where like if you fail, you start at the beginning, and then you have
Right.
to, and like it doesn't hold your hand or tell you anything. It's just like you have to get the item from this guy and talk to that guy, but there was no way for you to know that. And then like go into a corner of the room and press like A, and you pick something up that doesn't indicate anything. Like you had to have known that. And John, you have to watch that JonTron video. But the whole point I'm trying to make is eventually people figured out how to beat that game by just I don't know what. Like I have no idea because how the fuck are you supposed to know
Trial
any?
and error.
I mean, it. Some of the things that you have to do, it's like unless someone told you, how the fuck would you know how to do that? Like you
Right.
either have to go to every corner of every room and just spam every button to know that. Like there's no other way. Because some of them, it's like press select on the corner of this building, but only when this NPC is walking across the screen. When he's halfway across, that's when you press select. Like how the fuck would you know that, dude? You know what I mean? So I've always wondered where these people come from. What's their like goal? You know, this is it like some kind of like scavenger hunt kind of thing? You know, where they just want to
I
know.
can tell you one thing, John. They were vaccinated as kids.
Oh, is that what happened?
Got him.
Got
so
him.
it took me a minute to get this, but because you said that I'm your favorite brother and having me on the podcast,
Yes.
I didn't know where to put it, so I just put it in the Czar channel.
Hell yeah.
But look at what I posted in the Czar channel in your
Okay.
Discord.
Video might get a little screwy, guys. Give me a second while I check this out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit. Is that you and your brother?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
How old are y'all there?
He really blossomed later, dude.
So I don't know the exact age. I want to say that's probably. Oh, I might be 10. No, I got to be way older than 10.
Something
maybe,
like that.
Like
Look at that
12,
full head of
12,
hair.
12, 13. Yeah, I got my mom's curly hair. That's why I always shave my head.
It was a JonTron video. Yeah, I found it. Hold on, 1 second. Prince is saying he couldn't find it.
Yeah, well,
I'll find it after
Sucks
the
to be him.
podcast. I'll find it after the podcast. It might have been Angry Video Game Nerd, but I thought JonTron made a video on it. I'm not sure. Anyway, it could have been AVGN. But the idea of the game was it was just so stupid, ridiculously hard, and that was the idea. You know who the Japanese actor was? Do you remember that show where it was like Ninja Warrior but funny, and it was like those two Japanese guys with their fans?
Oh yeah, wow, what is the
What
name
was
of
that move? What was that show called? It was dubbed in English, but the dubbing was completely different than what they were saying, just for comedic effect.
Right, like that old like Godzilla, and their mouth
Yeah.
keeps moving. Still.
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Tom, we're having a great day." Obviously, the guy's not fucking Tom, but they were like Tom and Bob. But anyway, it was on TV. It was one of those
No,
guys. Was it?
I love that show.
One of those guys made the game, and then people would like stop him in the streets and say like, "Hey man, why'd you make such a stupid hard game?" And he would like troll them and say like, "You're dumb for even trying to beat that stupid game." It's like, what the fuck, man? But all those achievement hunters and stuff like that. Have you seen like people that achievement farm games? Like they don't even like the game, but they're just playing it just for the achievements and the trophies and stuff. That I'll never understand.
I've never heard of that personally, but I understand the want, like the want of trying to complete something like that. Because
yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. They're completionists, or what they're usually called. They're achievement hunters.
Yeah, completionist is right. There's one guy that has like the record. Have you seen his face? It's like such a meme. I'll find it right now.
all right, but like for me, it's weird because I feel that myself, but I don't feel it when I'm playing games on Steam, right? Like
Yeah, no.
I've got so many different games on Steam where I'm just kind of like, whatever. But if I have it on PlayStation, I'm like, I need that fucking trophy, you know? And it's just, it's weird because it's still like, it's a video game and it shouldn't matter what platform you're on. To me, it does. Maybe it's because it's called a trophy and it's not called an achievement. I don't exactly know how, like, for me, I don't know why.
Yeah, like this
But
is
on
the guy
PlayStation,
that
I do
had.
want.
This guy's the world record right here. The Bahraini A Hakam breaks world records. He's been trophy hunting most plats and trophies in the world after 10 years. So this is for PlayStation. 1,691 platinums. Platinum is 100%
shit.
achievements on the whole game, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
almost 1,700 games he's gotten all the achievements for. I mean, is that even worth like trying to beat, dude? You know what
To
I mean?
him,
But I mean, you've got the. I mean, if you're a video gamer, right? This guy looks like he's what, maybe like in his like 30s, maybe like late 20s.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Well, he's
So,
Middle
like-
Eastern, so he could be 15. You never know, dude.
You're right. That the facial hair can be very misleading.
I mean, look at me, dude. You know, I'm like 48 compared to what my real age is. But yeah, you were saying?
but like if you're working toward a goal, like there could be somebody that's pretty close to him, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't know. And like there are some games where, like at least on Xbox, I know this back in the day, where it's like you could get Avatar: The Last Airbender, or like the video game movie, and there's like only 5 achievements for it. And
Yeah.
it's like, beat the game, collect these things, and it's like, that's pretty minimalistic to get a platinum trophy. And I'm sure he's also done the same thing. Like if he was trying to get the Guinness World Record, which he did, I'm sure he's played a couple of those games too, where it's like,
Well,
Bubsy 3D, where it's just like, hey, just please
100%.
play our fucking game, And
Yeah.
it's like, hey,
Yeah. Well, I
There's
mean,
the
when you
platinum.
have like almost 1,700 games platinum, I feel like you have to do some of those games.
right. Like I'm sure all of his games aren't like Red Dead Redemption 2. where it's just like,
Eventually you run out of games and you got to find others.
Yeah, that's true. It says right here 10 years, 2,500 games, and 70,000 trophies. And since the record was filed and this article was written, he's upped it more. So I can't. This is October 2018. So
Of course,
well,
it's up to
now I want to check that math, because it says he's played 2,500 games, but he only has 1,600 trophies.
yeah.
Well, 75. No, he had 70,000 trophies, 1,600 something, or 1,719 platinums. I don't know what platinums.
Platinum
Platinum-
is the 100%.
Yeah. So he has
On
more.
PlayStation.
He has more achievements than 100%.
So that's not. Yeah, it's just the achievements he has. It's not that he's. Yeah, so out of the 2,500 games, 1,719 of them are 100 percentage.
Yeah. Exactly. So some of them are not 100%.
Right. So he's not
Right.
he's not 100% on the 100%. He's
Right.
still got
and
the highest
I
out
guess,
of
I guess
anybody.
that's what I thought he was going for.
Gotcha. Well, he might be out of the 2,500 games.
Right,
He's probably
yeah.
still trying to up those
Yeah.
platinums.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Because like the Gears of War one or whatever, it's like you got to play online and multiplayer and get like 1,000,000 kills or some stupid shit. So it's like, I can understand that.
So he probably avoids those. There's like a strategy to it, right? He avoids the ones that he knows is going to take forever to do, right?
Right. Like I would assume so. Like if you are a platinum hunter after that goal, you definitely would avoid like the Call of Duties and the Gears of War, where it's like you have to like interact with other players. I would assume, especially
Yeah.
with Call of Duty, because it seems like Call of Duty, every time they add DLC, there's another platinum trophy that goes along with it tied to the DLC.
I don't know if this is an up-to-date photo here, but it shows 1,930 platinum. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you can go to his, you can go and it's like a live thing, up to date. So,
His PSN page.
yeah, so 2,794 games. He has 1,930 platinum now. And look at all these gold, silver, and bronze.
What's that
Wow.
average? What progress is 91%? That's pretty high average.
That's insane.
That is pretty high average.
He averages 19.4 trophies a day, dude.
Well, so you're on that little like PSN trophy page. Click on the leaderboards. Let's see who the next highest person is, just to get a
you're
comparison, right?
Let's see here. Standard, adjusted, custom, completion, completist, right? That's
Mhm.
what we're looking for. Let's see what happens. Oh my god, he's not even number 1. What? Oh wait,
He's
this
been
is
overtaken.
it's because this is just counting the average. See, this guy's 99%.
Right. The other guy we were talking about, total trophies, I think is why he had the.
Let's try
Right.
let's try standard, I guess. Let's see what standard says. Yeah, he's still not number 1. He got outed by Rough Dog 4. Hell yeah, dude. USA. I know this guy's from the US. Let's find out. Yeah, he is.
That's
He's
the
got the
flag
American
right there.
flag. America. We kick ass, dude.
Let that just go to show you that if somebody does it, America's going to try and do it better.
Is his average progress 99%?
99%.
I don't know what that
See,
does. That mean
that guy's got to be min-maxing, like Czar was saying. That guy's got to like not
Yeah.
ever touch Call of Duty. to
No,
keep
because
that
you got to do like
percentage.
the online. Because all of those multiplayer games have online achievements.
so? Wait a
Right.
minute. Does that 99% means that if he touches a game, 99% of the time he gets a platinum trophy? Is that what
No,
that
it
means?
means out of the average accumulation of all the games he plays, he averages out to 99%, which means he's got 100% on a vast majority of them, like an obscene amount of majority of them.
Yeah. See, 2,650 games, 1,966 trophies. Is the math correct on that? Or platinum trophies, I mean.
It looks like that Secret of Mana is actually the only thing bringing down his average.
Oh yeah, look at that,
He
34%.
could be, he could be actively playing that too.
Yeah, so that means that if he gets 100 on that, his average might be 100%.
Yeah, he is. He's playing it right now. Look, it says April 12th, 2019 at 12:04 p.m. He
Holy shit!
Earned
So
his
that's
last trophy.
There you go. That's what's brought his average down to 99%.
and on the
Right, 'cause
third,
he's
yeah,
actively playing a video game. It brought his percent. Oh my
dude.
goodness!
Yesterday,
What a guy.
he got 100% on Jack 3 on the Vita. Wait, the Vita is part of the PlayStation
Right,
Network.
it's the
It's
PlayStation
PSN.
Network. So, right, so like PSP, PS Vita, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, all of those are all synced to the same trophy system.
Yeah, I'm looking here. It's all PS4 Vita. I'm trying to see if there's any other.
There's a couple others. It looks like he's in progress on.
Yeah, and he's doing with these games on every difficulty too. I just want to know, like,
Yeah, most of them to get all the achievements, you have to do the all difficulties.
That
What-
guy is a gamer. Right
okay,
there.
let me ask you a question. Do you think he is a retired guy, disabled? He's not. He's just not like me and you. He doesn't have a day job. There's no way you can do that with a day job, right?
Yeah, there's no time constraint on any of these.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look at these timings.
Well, no,
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. There's like no time constraint. So he could have a day job. If he spends 2 hours a day doing it, he could still accomplish this.
Right, because like just look at what we were just saying. Like Secret of Mana, the last time he earned a trophy was 2 days ago.
yeah.
Right.
He's probably
it's
just
like-
putting it down because he's like, oh, I'll deal with this later. Because it is a fucking vast RPG. You know.
Right.
And look, it even tells you how long it takes. On April 11th, 2018, in 2 hours and 48 minutes, he got the platinum on I and Me on the Vita. Then he did it again on PS4.
I mean, that's an interesting way to play games, right? Is just by going after the achievements like this. Like I'm sure he does enjoy the games, but
I mean,
Hey,
yeah,
man, whatever tickles
I,
your
I
pickle,
wouldn't go to
you know what I'm
that.
saying?
I wouldn't go to that length, right?
dude,
But
he plays
what-
these
what
waifu
interests
games
me-
too. Look, Snowdrop.
Well, yeah, like there's achievements, man.
Yeah, you're. Oh, yeah.
What
I mean,
interests him about video games is the challenge of completing everything available in it.
Right.
yeah,
And
one thing
that's what he finds enjoyment out of video games.
yeah.
The one
just
thing
what-
that I noticed while you're on his page is like near his profile picture of Cartman or whatever, up at the top it says he's a PlayStation Plus lifetime member, and it
Yeah.
also said something along the lines of PSNTL team member.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So I wonder what that is. I
Let's
think this guy
Google.
might actually work for the PlayStation Network.
PSN trophy leaders. PSN trophy leader team. That's all that means.
Oh,
Yeah. So
maybe I'm looking too far into this.
how do you get a lifetime member status? How does that matter?
Maybe you got to be the trophy, like a trophy leader.
PSNTL team. These are the ones who keep PSNTL running smoothly, from our esteemed leader, Skippy Q, to developers, designers, approval, and data teams, to even forum moderators.
Oh, so this guy's okay. So this is the beauty of the internet. This guy's entire life is PSN trophies and the community behind it. That's it. That's his whole life. So him and Hakum probably meet all the time and like jerk each other off or something, dude. Because
I mean, hey man, if that's the life you want to live, right?
that's the life I want to live.
He's not hurting anybody. Like
Yeah.
that's the way I look at it, right?
The number 3 guy See, anybody under these two is just forgettable people, you know?
Wow, John.
They're like, yeah,
Jesus.
whatever.
Dude,
Not gonna bother.
I don't know the number 10 guy. Look, the number 10 guy
Oof.
still has done so much more than any of us ever will, but no one gives a fuck about them.
Right.
Yo, big shout
mean,
out to your dads in chat, Ty. Shout out to your
Dad,
dad.
chat.
I
Dad
told
showed
them
up.
about The podcast.
Yeah. That's interesting, dude. It's crazy. Anyway, we got on a crazy tangent.
Yeah, John, you're really obsessed with this completionist stuff.
I just don't.
You okay, bud?
I'm
You
trying
okay,
to
bud?
figure out. No, I'm not okay because I'm trying to
Okay,
figure
big
out
guy?
how this happens. How does somebody come to this point where they're like, you know what? I'm gonna
I
get.
mean, how did they come to this point?
I just.
They've fallen down in their life. They have nothing to live for, and they only find comfort in achievements in video games, John.
Yes.
This is how they
Well,
come to this.
Okay, so devil's advocate for the sake of the podcast.
Let's do
right?
it, baby. Let's do it.
Maybe we're the ones that are failures or suck because think of all the video games you've played in your life, right?
Yeah.
Why haven't you gotten all the platinums or like all the different like 100% for the games that you
Yeah, because you're not good enough, John.
Because
That's
I've
why.
I've decided
some
to
could
be a
argue-
completionist of life. That's why.
Oh, okay, that's probably better.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's a good thing to
But
be.
some could
to be-
argue that completing the platinum trophy is superior to the way that we play games, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You could argue that.
The power of perspective.
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like if they channeled all this energy into something else, and it could even be video games, like content creator or like, is he getting paid for this? I don't know. Like, is there any significant
I don't think that
benefit?
matters. What's the merit of doing it other than he wants to?
That's true. You're right. I get it. I guess I'm being the weird, cynical guy that doesn't understand any of this stuff.
So look at like speedrunners, right? The people that like glitch or exploit games for the sake of like running it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
If this guy like Rough Dog 4, realistically, like the Hakum guy probably more so because there's articles about him and stuff. But all one of them would have to do is start up a Twitch stream, right? And like stream them like 100%ing the games. Like this guy's got the #1 most progress in platinum in the world. Like all he'd have to do is stream his progress, and some people will probably watch.
All right, we're gonna
Like,
see
wow,
if
this-
Rough Dog
this-
4
this
has
guy's got notoriety.
twitch.tv/roughDog4 and does not look like it exists. Well, yeah, it exists, but doesn't look like.
There's no guarantee that it's him.
Yeah, it doesn't. I know. Rough Dog 4 streaming. Let's see if he does anything.
He did an interview with Push Square.
Yeah, I mean, he does interviews and stuff. Trophy Talk podcast with Rough Dog 4 and Hakum. What? Dude, they have their own podcast. Let's get him
There you
on the
go.
podcast, dude. I'm going to ask him.
There you go.
Let's find out. That's our next goal, to get these guys on the podcast, at least one of them. Prince says, why did I beat Dark Souls 1 with a Guitar Hero controller or do no-hit runs? Because they're fun. Yeah, but that's different. That's like, that's kind of like challenging yourself within a certain game because you want it's the personal challenge. And
So are trophies, John.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like
I mean, Czar's right. You could rope that back to being the same category.
I guess
the
you're right.
personal challenge. See?
I feel like I have more respect for somebody no-hit running. I have respect for this, definitely. This is obviously an achievement.
John, you have no respect for anything in
I
life.
just want to know. I have so many questions, dude. I just have so many questions. Like, do you have time? Are you retired? Like, what does it take to be this sort of completionist? Do you have to have no life? Like, no like girlfriend, no job? Are you like stuck at home and disabled? Like, is that what it
No,
takes?
they seem like normally functional people from these articles.
You don't know.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of assumption here because it's fairly possible that this guy leads a totally normal life, right?
Yeah.
But like when he
So
comes home,
we don't know.
maybe maybe he juggles like being a dad with like every now and then he plays like 2 hours a night or something because his PlayStation thing is over the course of like having a PlayStation 3, a PlayStation like portable, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 4, and he could play like maybe just 3 hours a night.
Here's your answer,
Knock out
John.
multiple
In the article.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
The obvious question: how does a married man with a full-time job find time to earn 40,000 trophies in just over 6 years?
Dude, that's an achievement right there.
There
He
you
said,
go. Boom, double
he
achievement.
says he used to game a lot. He's toned it down. He says on average he plays approximately 3 to 4 hours a day, with most of the time being played late at night when his wife's asleep.
There you go.
So that's
So there
what
you
it
go.
is.
He's got a full-time
That's
job.
kinda- that's
He's
kinda what I figured.
married,
He's a normal guy.
and he's busting them trophies. He's just really good at what he does.
Dude, he puts his pants
He's a
on one
hustler,
leg at a
John.
time like me, dude. So I
you
could
go.
be like Rough
So-
Dog 4. I
Yeah,
could be
so-
Rough Dog
so
5.
Why aren't you? Why aren't you this guy?
I
John?
guess
the
I'm a
question,
failure,
John.
dude. I have to look at my son now after this podcast. I have to look him in the eyes, and he has to look at me in the eyes and know that I'm a failure.
I was gonna say, you have to fucking apologize to
I know.
little Donnie.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Rough Dog 4 and Hakum for assuming that you're disabled autists that don't have a life. You know,
fucking John swinging wild today on this podcast. By the way,
I'm sorry. Wait, it's not normal to put your pants on 2 legs at a time, dude. That's an achievement. I feel like putting on your
get him on the podcast immediately.
Prince just has his girlfriend hold the pants up like this, and then he jumps into them off the bed. So
If I
they
tried that, I just rack my chin on something immediately.
100%. All right, let's get into the news. We covered this kind of weird shit. I don't know how we got to it, but we got to it, and I feel like it was good content. Do you guys agree?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
let's
think
go.
all content can
Nothing
be
on
good
this
content.
nothing on this podcast is good content, John.
All right. Speaking of the Division 2, which TeeWhy plays, there was this slur Ubisoft had to remove from the artwork in the game that somebody randomly caught. So if you're looking on the screen, guys, there's a graffiti of a cop eating a donut. It's on his badge. On his badge is written the words FA6607, which in Leet speak
Yeah.
Whoa!
is the homophobic slur, the F word. I will not repeat it because that's not what I'm about in this life. Is somebody at the door? Oh, somebody. Oh, it's my mother-in-law. Sorry. Hey,
Man, what did they say about this? Was it on purpose? Was this an accident?
I was fully ready when I saw the little the splash art that John pulled up here. I was fully ready to white knight this, and then
But-
I can't defend that because like in the game, the whole premise of the game, right, is DC's been taken over by basically people that are afraid of this outbreak.
it's
And there's a group
anarchy,
of
right?
people-
It's just anarchy.
Right. There's a group of people called the hyenas where they just snort this fucking drug and they sprint at you and they have no remorse for their human life. And like they'll beat people in the streets, they'll hang them by their toes, like they'll torture them. It's just like complete delinquent people that are running in the streets. So it's like, oh, if there's like something that's kind of edgy, like you could chop it up to being that, but on a police badge, something like that, that's not graffiti. That's something the developer put in. I can't.
Right. Well,
I
I
can't
mean,
white
you
knight
think
to that.
Maybe somebody thought that would be like contextually relevant to the like interdynamic struggles of the factions in the world.
Yeah.
Well, looking at it, it doesn't look like it was part of a building, right? This is definitely somebody that like drew. So like from the point of the video game, this is definitely somebody that like did their own artwork. Similar.
Oh,
to,
so like some
a
like
tagger.
players can do this?
No, players can't do this.
Okay.
It would be like from the perspective of like how I just told you, like the hyenas. They're like complete
Yes.
delinquents or whatever.
Yeah.
It would be the equivalent of like a tagger in real life, like tagging a gang sign on the side of a wall or something.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So like the developers put it in as like possibly contextually relevant to the world, right?
Right, and I
Somebody
think
in
that's
the
what
world
it is.
doing
because
that.
like if you look at it, it's a fat cop eating a donut, which is already a stereotype,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then for his badge, they put like a play on an
Yeah.
offensive slur, I guess.
Yeah, but my question is here, what do you guys think the logical reasoning here is? Do you think that Ubisoft was like, hey, let's just commission a bunch of graffiti artists, hit up Getty Images, whoever you can, and we'll just buy the rights to these images and put it in the game because it makes sense? Or do you think they told their artists, hey, make graffiti? You know what I mean? Because if they told their own personal employees to make the graffiti, then someone's getting fired. But if they just commissioned the art and bought it third party, then I would see that as being the logical reasoning on how that got into the game. You know what I mean?
I would say it's probably third party. I would
Yeah.
probably say that like maybe they hired an artist to come up with some ideas for like DC street art, because there is some really cool shit when you're exploring the Division too. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they say, "Hey, can you make us some graffiti that you would see on the streets of New York?" And I played this with Roger, who lives in New York City, and he
Mhm.
says like the streets in the game, they're the actual streets of New York.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's cool.
So like in the game there's like 65th Avenue or something. Then like the next one is 75th Avenue. He's like, it's not an exact carbon copy, right? But like the street down like the Washington Monument and stuff, 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Like the buildings that you see there are pretty accurate as far as like what's in the real life. Obviously for, branding and whatnot, like the names are changed and stuff on some of the buildings. But he said it's a cut and copy of the actual DC, which I think in itself is really cool. So commissioning artists to try and make street art like this, that wouldn't be too far-fetched.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what it is, because in the article it says they basically apologize for the fact that it slipped through their content review.
Yeah.
So it does sound like they, have either an art staff or hire outsourced artists to do various artwork, and of course is reviewed. But it looks like during the review process, the fact that leet speak was in there got missed.
Yeah, and the only way they found out about it was some player was going around and documenting odd and misspelled graffiti within the game. Like this one says Cooks and Kahir instead of cashier, obviously a typo. So he was looking for those small details, while QA is just like it goes so fast. They're like, oh yeah, okay, looks
Right.
good. It's
Understandable for something like this to get
to slip through.
missed, especially something as it's such a small piece of the artwork. Somebody could be reviewing it. What they see is a bunch of numbers. Okay, that's the cop's badge number.
Yeah,
They don't
exactly.
give it a second thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I like, even if you put yourself in the shoes of the artist, that's fucking clever, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
As a badge number, that's fucking clever.
Yeah.
Like it is a slur and it shouldn't be there, right? But that
Right.
is clever.
Yeah. It's
And
art though,
honestly-
so it's art.
Right.
Like there's a meaning
Right.
behind everything. You can't just be like, oh, the artist is a homophobe. No, I mean maybe he is, maybe he isn't. It's just how he decided he wanted his art to be.
So here's one thing that I'll raise here, because I played the game, right?
Mhm.
I'm at max level content. I've seen a lot of the stuff in the game. There's a mob type called the True Sons, which like a little bit of backstory just so you get an idea. The True Sons basically revolted from the American government, saying that who's running the government now is corrupt and unfit to run. So they consider themselves true sons or true patriots of the United States, and so they only answer to themselves.
Mhm.
And while playing through the game, one of the True Sons or whatever, he'll yell at you. He's like, "I see you, cabron," and it's a white guy that says it. And my character is predominantly white. Like I don't think it goes to the level of if I made my character look Hispanic or darker, I don't think the dialogue would change in the game
Yeah,
whatsoever.
no, he's just
But
ironically,
that does
saying
raise
it.
the question though, where it's like, is that a problem? Where it's
Yeah.
like, I don't think it's a problem, but because it doesn't really affect me. But at the same time, it's like it does seem out of place that he would call you that when it's like it has no relation to you.
Yeah, I've seen that before where white people will call a Hispanic guy amigo, like kind of in like a funny way, like, hey, what's going on, amigo? But it has like that slight tinge of racism, like, hey, why are you
Right.
appropriating?
Yeah, and that's how I hear it.
I hear it that way too. Like if he's like, hey, cabron, it's like, okay, why are you using that word? You're obviously, I'm not,
Right.
you
Well,
know.
the purpose of that is just to signify who you're speaking to as other
Yeah.
than yourself. They are the other. They're the outsider, infiltrator, whatever you want to call them. You're not us. You're not in the in group,
Yeah.
and you're telling that to them in that way using their native language or some other way like that. So the idea there is obviously they're setting contextually. The sons of the True Sons or whatever are clearly more of like a borderline white nationalist sort of thing, or are they mixed, or just some sort of nationalist
Yeah.
party, right?
I mean, it could be Princess. How do you know he's not a white Hispanic? I mean, one indicator would be that it's cabron. If you're Spanish, it's not cabron,
Yeah.
But,
I mean, there's
right.
always
He's
always
saying it ironically.
Yeah.
Like, Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
You know better the context in it than we do, so I'll defer to your judgment.
Oh, it was a joke, John. Well, shit. I don't know when you're joking, Prince. Okay. All
See,
right.
that's a problem with text. It's like
You never know.
tone doesn't translate over text.
Yeah, how
And
many
I feel like that's why
fights-
they added the kappa.
Dude,
That's
that's
why
why.
you
like-
just spam kappas, boys.
That's it.
Exactly.
Golden until you get the
Kappa
golden one.
Kappa equals sarcasm.
Until
That's
you
right.
get the golden one. Someone will get it. I haven't
But
witnessed it yet.
But we're getting off track with the Cabron thing. Like back to the artwork from the Division 2. If I'm Ubisoft, right? I've got enough shit on my plate than to worry about like, some outside street work in my game. Like obviously, now that it's out in the air, it's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
they should address it. Like to just kind of like and sweep it under the rug would be a mistake.
Yeah,
But at
for
the same
sure.
time, like if you look at the Division 1 and the launch cycle that it had and the problems that it had and the player base that it lost, that was a big fucking yikes.
Mhm.
And honestly, the Division 2 is a complete 180 from all that. I think the Division 2 is a quality game that needs to be looked into if you like looter shooters and you like to the Division 1. Like if you felt like you were promised something from the Division 2, I feel like delivers on that. And so for me, like
Stop trying to sell me the game, goddammit. I'm
Good-
not gonna
good-
buy it.
no, you don't. I'm not here to shill out for like.
Yeah,
Division 2.
right.
They don't.
Yeah,
they don't
how's
need
the,
my-
how's them Ubisoft checks?
Yeah.
They're on to me. They're on to me. Ubi.
I knew it.
But-
I knew it.
But honestly, if I'm that developer, right, I've had my run-ins with problems already,
Yeah.
and to have the street art, it's just
It's just
such
unfortunate.
A minute, it's a minute thing. I
I think it's just bad luck, to be honest. I don't think.
I
that,
think, well, it goes up to like a mixture of human error and artist decision to do what they want, specific things with their art.
Yeah.
I see it being very easy to miss something like that in the review process going into the game.
Yeah. I think.
So,
yeah. It's a
I think it's
charged
very
word.
obviously just an error in the guys reviewing it didn't see it, so it got put in.
It's a charged word, but I don't think we need to crucify Ubisoft for this mistake. I don't think so at all. I think there's
Right, and, like-
way more important problems.
I can almost like I'm not gonna champion or like defend the word, right? But I can see how the word would apply as like this mantra of like, oh, this fat pig cop.
Yeah.
Like
Right. It's
like,
just any sort
you're
of
just
using
thinking of
any sort
all
of
the
derogatory
words in the book.
terminology.
right,
Okay.
because it was a derogatory term that you would use to people you didn't care for.
Yeah. Well, it's
Right.
like it's the
And like
but
that's I feel like that's what the artist was going for.
Yeah,
with
the
his
fuck the
badge.
police
That's
thing, as
why
Prince
he
says.
put it as like right. That's why he put it as like the badge number, right?
Well,
It's
not
just
only
such a-
that, but like who's put? Maybe there's maybe he knew context of maybe who would be putting up the art. Maybe the people putting up the art are okay with casting a wide net with insults and allowing that derogatory term to be used towards the disparaging group.
Yeah.
And maybe it's intended that way from that artist's perspective of him,
Right.
his perspective from in the game. Maybe that's supposed to be part of the artistic
Right.
idea behind it.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I don't get like with art, right? Like the guy, the sculptor Michelangelo or whatever did David. It's like he put his fucking dick on there. Like he made the statue with a dick.
Small dick too, because at the time it was considered big dicks were considered barbaric because only the barbarians had big dicks.
That's why I'm a civilized boy.
Yeah, no, well that's why I'm a barbarian, baby. Anyway, we should move on from this article. We're talking way too much about it. Are you guys
I
down
mean,
with
you
that?
brought up dicks at this point.
I mean, dude, I'm all about dicks.
wait, no, that was me.
yeah,
That
it was
me.
you, but
All right.
I.
I said all right, whatever.
But you know what? That's fair because we do talk about dicks a lot on this podcast, so it could have been me anyway. So it's all good. Let's move on to some Borderlands. Borderlands 3 co-op partners won't compete for loot, unlike in Borderlands 2. So it's going to be personalized loot. Looks like. Players will see their own loot drops, which I just wish every fucking game had this feature, dude. I hate having to like, oh, did you need that? Oh, do I need this? Like,
Right.
it's just it bogs down the game. So Borderlands 3 is not gonna have that, and I'm fucking psyched about it, dude.
So I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna do that though. Like,
It's like Diablo. Whatever drops, you see it.
Yeah.
okay, so that doesn't get rid of your concern then. Like, oh, do you need this? Because you would
Right.
still be able to trade that. So like that's still going to be a part of the game,
Yeah,
but rather you won't snipe loot from your teammates.
exactly. Well,
Correct.
you can
The
always
idea
trade later.
behind it, the idea, I think, mostly behind this is for playing with randoms. Everybody sees their own loot, which they get to pick up.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know,
I feel like
beyond
that's the
that,
way all
whatever
loot
happens,
should be.
happens. But I think it's just supposed to avoid this idea of, people sorting through, trying to do it like frantically, sort through and grab what you can because you got this other rando guy here who might take the gun you want.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you're playing with your buddies that you can trust and you're friends with, then now that means there's 4 times more likely chance of you getting whatever you need, because your buddies are seeing their own loot. It's just a good thing all around. It's a quality of life thing, and I'm glad that they're adding it. September 13th is the release date for this game, by the way.
Oh man, I'm excited for Borderlands 3, boys.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree about the loot change.
Yeah.
Because that was a big thing that kind of deterred me from playing Borderlands 2.
Yeah, it was just a
It's
dated thing,
It's
dude.
like a ping game.
Yeah, it was a dated thing. That's just one of those quality of life things that we all expect. Like, it's certain video games that don't have like there's like certain quality of life things that we just expect it now, streamlined. If you're making an action RPG like Diablo style, I don't want to click on gold. I automatically pick up gold. That's a thing that every game should have now. So if you make me actually go and click on the pile of gold to pick it up, you're moving backwards in progression, as far as I can say, So this is just moving forward, and that's all it is.
Right. Hey, John.
Tell me.
Speaking of Borderlands 3, how long do you think until the quartering makes a video complaining that there appears to be 2 playable female classes?
Oh, really, dude? I'm surprised he hasn't already.
Right?
He all his like titles of all his fucking videos are like exposed. They're finally getting their comeuppance, getting what they're deserved. And it's like, dude,
Is that the same guy that made an article about the Apex Legend characters? Whether it's like, oh, there's 2 black females.
Yeah.
He made a video.
Okay.
Gender robot.
Yeah.
Like, dude, robots have genders in the first place, dude?
Yeah. Well, we have an article about that, actually.
He's just trying to get fucking clicks, is what he's doing. He's just trying to. Like,
he's a rage bait.
Yeah.
He's a rage baiting idiot, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all it is. All right, next piece of news. Let's move on. September 13th, by the way. Bethesda plans to sell Fallout 76 repair kits for real money. I mean, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Hell yeah, boy!
I don't know what that means exactly.
Okay, so these repair kits are just like, for any other sort of RPG where you have durability on items.
Mm-hmm.
These repair kits allow you to repair.
Oh, it's a fucking microtransaction then.
Yeah.
It's a microtransaction that impacts the game. And so there's different tiers of repair kits as well. Higher tier repair kits can repair your items to 150%. So you get an extra 50% durability on the item that lasts longer before you got to repair. I think the higher tier ones are only like rare loot drop from like the beast mothers or whatever they're called. But the normal ones that will repair items to 100% will be in the Atom store.
Okay, so you need crafting materials to regularly repair your stuff, and you have to be at a crafting bench. But repair kits will let you do it anytime, anywhere.
Yep, and fully repair. So
do the repair kits break?
No, they're just a consumable item.
It's a consumable item. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you would essentially be paying real money for something that wouldn't stay with you.
Yeah, it's
correct.
Just
it would be a one-time use.
It's a convenience thing.
It's like buying health potions for real money.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's the next fucking step, isn't it, huh? Health potions for money, fucking all the town portals for money, god damn it. Ammo for real money. Imagine buying fake virtual ammo with real money.
I'll just off myself at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that's what... Well, then I'll use a repair kit to bring you back to life. There you go. All right. Well, there's that. Doesn't look like Fallout 76 is doing anything to...
Doesn't look like they're fucking doing anything to fix the horrible damage they put the game under. All they're trying to do right now, they know that there's nothing that they can do to like reinvigorate the market around to bring more people in. What they're just trying to do is monetize as much as they can of the player base that's there now.
Take advantage of the whales that exist. That's it. Keep the whales happy.
There's no way they're gonna be getting like a ton of new people in to get revenue pumping. Yeah. So they're just gonna try to monetize whatever they can for the people that are there.
Yeah, and if there's anything we learned from mobile games is 95% of mobile games that are free have players that are free to play from 95% of their player base. Only 5% of their player base is what they're counting on to be the whales. And they're just counting on that 5% to make all the money that they need. They don't care if 95% of the other people are playing for free and don't spend a dime. So that's why I know this kind of shit will work for them. You know, they just need a small percentage of people to fucking spend this money. So there's that. Next piece of news. Z1 Battle Royale dropped by new developer. Returns to Daybreak Games. So, you know, so they can fix it. Why don't they just let this game go? I don't understand.
Oh, wait, it's in like the H1Z1 Battle Royale?
Yeah. H1Z1 Battle Royale.
People are
It's
still
actually-
working on that thing?
It's not H1Z1 anymore.
It's just called
Z1.
Z1.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking like how stupid that is. Like,
Yeah, I don't know why they changed the name.
it's because they're dropping the zombie survival aspect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's the
Like,
Z1 stand for?
Zombie one, I guess. I don't know what the fuck
But
it
they're
stands for.
I don't get it any more than you do. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, I thought it was weird that I was looking through Steam the other day, and it was like, oh, we're not going to support the survival mode anymore. Like, we're only going to support the battle royale mode. And
Yeah.
I was
Now we're
like,
just Z1.
right, and it would be interesting to see like what all. Like what the numbers look like for that, right? Because
Right.
I remember playing H1Z1, and that was what I liked, was that mode.
Dude, this is exhausting, dude. It's okay. So H1Z1 originally went live on Steam Early Access in 2015. Then it split into two games in 2016. H1Z1 Just Survive and the multiplayer survival game, and H1Z1 King of the Kill, a competitive battle royale. Then H1Z1 bit was cut from the first game, leaving it as Just Survive. I'm already lost, by the way. Closed in August 2018, while King of the Kill went back to being just H1Z1. What? And was rebranded to Z1 Battle Royale last year. And after all that dicking around, we're right back where we started, except with a Battle Royale instead of a survival game. So it's split into two ways. It got renamed. One got canceled, then the other one was back, then they went back to their original name, got new developers, and now the new developers are like, fuck this, we're going back to mobile games, you guys can have it back. And now we have a game that just needs to go away, dude. It just needs to go away. That's all it is.
So I don't think it needs to go away. I'm sure there are people that still play it, and I kind of dislike when people are like, "Oh, this game is dead. Kill this game," or like,
Kill
saying
it.
that-
They killed it.
Consume the child.
like, yeah, they definitely didn't help the life cycle of their game, right?
Yeah.
But there are people that like play and enjoy it, and I feel like
Yeah,
should
well,
still,
Ty,
like-
they're wrong. Okay?
Exactly, obviously.
got it.
I mean, we're right, they're wrong. Let's see how many people are playing it right now. 2,349 people in game.
Hey, still more alive than battle, right?
Yeah, that's true. And 54% of people like the game. It's mixed reviews right now. Yeah. And it's
Like,
$5.
I believe they just had a big overhaul of a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
I just don't think they marketed. So it's kind of weird, right? Because technically they're like one of the first people to do a battle royale. Like,
Yeah,
I guess you could.
They were the
you could
first,
argue,
in my opinion, weren't they?
So technically yes, but also technically no. They were the first ones to like come out and say like battle royale, the words battle royale,
And the
But
first to actually like
technically-
make a full game that was it, right? Because
right,
the
but, like,
first
Arma
original
3
was a
had a
mod.
mod.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
that's
Arma
right.
3.
So that was before H1Z1.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was an Arma 3 mod that they like
Yeah.
let you do battle royale.
Yeah.
And then from there, H1Z1 was the next big king, where it was like, it was the survival horror thing where you played against other players. And then they added in like where you could just drop into an area with 100 players, and people really liked that. And then from there, it just kind of branched off, and like PUBG kind of capitalized on that. And then from there, Fortnite capitalized on that. And then that one game was a thing for like a day and a half
Yeah.
that everybody played, where like you could get the bike and whatnot. Then Ring of Elysium, and now we just have like an oversaturation of battle royale.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All because of Player Unknown.
Well, I hope you guys enjoy
Fuck that
the new vision that Daybreak Games will have for whatever this game will be called within the next few months. I think they're sticking with Z1 Battle Royale, which Don't try to figure out what that means. Let's just, accept it, move on, and see what happens, I guess. And we'll go to the next article. Are you guys excited about Disney Plus?
Hell yeah, brother.
Actually, unironically, yes.
I am too. I like it. I liked it before.
I'm ready to stream Frozen, baby.
Hell yeah, let it go. So Disney Plus launches on November 12th for $6.99 per month, cheaper than Netflix. Plus, it'll have
Netflix has a price increase again.
Yeah, I think it's 12.
Did they? That's a
really
mistake.
fuck.
Netflix is going up to like 16 something a
Those
month.
motherfuckers, dude. Plus, new Marvel Star Wars series will be going on. So this is what we got here. They will have their own Star Wars series. One of them is going to be called The Mandalorian, is what I saw, and it's supposed to be like Game of Thrones Star Wars. Yeah, there it is, The Mandalorian. It's going to have like all the Disney movies. It's going to have Pixar original shit.
Yeah, anything that Disney owns is pretty much going to be
Lizzie
up there.
McGuire's on there, boy. The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Okay, so they have good original programming coming up. Well, I don't know if they're good yet, but yeah, look at this. The UI even looks like Netflix, just a little bit better, I guess. I don't know. It's Disneyfied.
So, I'm of the market, right, that you don't need a TV, like you don't need cable TV anymore. You really don't.
No, you don't.
And like you haven't needed it for a while. And I think this just is going to kind of solidify that. But
Yeah.
I am interested to see what Disney is going to do since they did acquire Fox. If they're going to keep Hulu up, or if they're going to like potentially move some of the programming. Because if I'm Disney, I don't want everything attached to my Disney name, right?
Yeah.
Like for to save face, like I don't want like that James Franco show Penis or whatever, like Pen 15 on Hulu.
Yeah.
I don't want that attached to Disney. Like Disney's Pen 15, right?
Yeah.
But technically Disney does bone. See, I'm talking about penis and boning. they do own that property.
They own Fox now. They own
Right.
Yeah.
they
yeah,
own
I mean,
everything.
60% stake in Hulu.
Yeah.
Which, like, my main thing about them owning Fox is just like now they own the fucking X-Men, which is where like it needed to belong. Like Marvel and X-Men needed to be under the same
For
roof
sure.
again.
I'm with you. I grew up watching that Saturday morning cartoon and I loved X-Men. But yeah, they own ESPN too. They always have.
They own 20% of the market, period.
Yeah.
I
Period.
believe.
No matter what.
That
Which-
means like filmmaking, TV, like they own like 20% of the overall market, I believe.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is huge.
It's insane, dude. That's insane. A fifth of everything? What? That's ridiculous, dude. That you can like just determine whatever the fuck you want. But yeah,
Yeah.
this was gonna
So
happen.
no, it's likely that Hulu and stuff will stay up because, like Ty said, I think that Disney Disney's very smart with their brand, and I don't think they want to fuck Hulu up for the people that have Hulu and enjoy Hulu. There's a HBO partnership with Hulu, yeah, but Disney probably doesn't want to put their name on
on that.
basically sex shows
Well-
on
Like
HBO
Ray,
either.
Ray Donovan
right?
or whatever.
Right. So yeah, it's very likely that Hulu will remain with 60% of Disney owning it, and they're just let it be its own thing because one, they're still going to make money from that,
Yeah.
from owning 60% of it, and they don't have to put their brand stamp on some of the stuff that they can allow on there.
Well, for the longest time, Disney always had other studios that they owned to make those kinds of movies. Like There Will Be Blood is a Disney movie, but it doesn't have
Yeah.
Disney on it. They own the studio. I think it's called Touchstone. Is a studio that they own that makes all those movies. And Deadpool was the first Disney movie, or which one was the one that was the first
Well,
Disney rated R movie?
I don't know because Deadpool
The
was
Lion
made
King.
before.
And that's Sony, isn't it?
Huh? No, Deadpool was Fox.
Deadpool's
was Fox. Yeah, that's right.
So now
Spider-Man
Disney owns it, but it was made before Disney.
There was a rated R Disney movie. Like, it was Disney and it was rated R. It was the first time ever. I forgot exactly which one it was. But otherwise, they would have used another thing. And there was a rumor in the beginning days where I heard that Disney owned, like, stock in porn companies and stuff like that. Because they were just
No,
all...
they actively own a porn company.
yeah,
Like,
they're just, like, all about making the money. They don't give a fuck, So...
right. They don't advertise it like before Frozen or anything, but
Yeah, exactly. Dude, when I used to work at Disney as a video game tester, they had all these fucking special rules about which princess is in the foreground and which princess is in the background. Like Jasmine can never be in front of Cinderella, but Cinderella can be in front of dude. And like you had to know these things. There was a booklet this fucking thick of all those things that you had to know. And
So
they're all about that branding shit, dude. All about it.
so do you guys like theories, conspiracy theories, stuff like that?
Sometimes I don't want to
You
get
guys
too deep into it.
So I'm not
Usually.
gonna like go down a fucking rabbit hole because we easily could. And,
Yeah.
like, we could get way off topic with Disney, and
That's why I
theories,
usually don't get into it because it's like, oh, it's been 30 minutes and we talked about nothing.
yeah. But there was a theory floating around. Like, you guys know who Matt Pat is on YouTube?
No,
Yes.
I don't.
Like
Go
film,
ahead.
Game theory.
So
Oh,
he does
yeah.
game theory and film theory.
Yeah,
where
I
it's
know
like,
that.
You know, he tries a deep dive. So he recently did a deep dive about Kingdom Hearts 3 and Frozen specifically, and he
Oh,
also
Jesus.
did one about like Frozen 2 and what he got from the trailer for
Mhm.
Frozen 2.
Mhm.
But like TLDR, basically what he was saying is Disney completely cut out what Tetsuya Nomura had planned for Frozen to save face. And
Oh,
he's
really?
like, yeah, he's like, there's complete evidence in the game that they left in that it's completely mocked up. Whereas like every single Disney level, you're interacting with the main characters of the Disney universe. Like
Right.
when you go to Rapunzel's world, it's Rapunzel and Flynn. When you go to the Pirates of the Caribbean, it's Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
When you go to like blank, it's so and so. When you go to Frozen, it's Marshmallow, like the big golem thing that Elsa creates. It's not Elsa, it's not Anna, it's not Kristoff. It's
Yeah,
not any
why?
of the main
That's
cast.
so weird. Why?
So this is what the theory dictates. There's a dialogue line from an organization member where, like, if you don't know like anything about Kingdom Hearts, the organization's the bad guys.
Mhm.
From Larxene, where they're talking about Elsa's powers, and they're like, I wonder if it'll be lighter, I wonder if it'll be dark. I know that I want to know. And that's the only line this character gives as she's the antagonist of this world. Every other world, the organization members have a lot of dialogue lines and how like the story relates to Sora. Because every single world, there's a parallel between what's happening in that world and Sora, which is the main character.
Yeah.
And so out of nowhere, Larxene seems to make like this gigantic ice labyrinth out of thin air, right? It's completely out of character for a lightning user like Larxene. All of her combats are lightning based. She makes an ice labyrinth.
Yeah, which
trap.
would be way more consistent with Elsa making the labyrinth. But for some reason,
Right.
she didn't do it.
Right. And so then like the labyrinth, he puts like Matt Pat put side by side with Elsa's castle, and the layout matched. So his theory was that Elsa was meant to be the bad guy of the Kingdom Hearts world, and the end of it is you fight her and change her over to good. And that's why Marshmallow like sacrifices himself like at the very end of the world.
Spoiler alert. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm like ruining the game at this point.
I would
but-
never play that game. It's okay. Don't worry. Sorry,
But
everybody. in chat.
Marshmallow sacrifices himself, and the bad guy is an ice wolf. But like the ice wolf of the world, it comes from Hans, like the bad guy from the movie.
Mm.
But the weird thing is that you never actually see Hans's face, and he never delivers a single line of dialogue.
So
And he's the villain of the world.
So there's something
Right.
going on for sure.
So I guess Disney was like, oh, we can't have Elsa be bad at all ever. Period.
Yeah. Period.
That's exactly
optics.
that's exactly what he says.
For
in the theory.
merchandise, for everything.
He's like, girls look up to Elsa. She can't be evil. And
Yeah.
so he has to completely redo this world, which is what the theory states.
Yeah.
Because the world is literally climb up the mountain, somebody knocks you off the mountain. Climb up the mountain, somebody knocks you off the mountain. Climb up the mountain, walk down the mountain, and then you fight a big ice wolf that comes out of Hans for seemingly no reason. Because like even he does a deep dive on Hans, where it's like Hans is from the Southern Isles, which are primarily sunny and warm. And it's like, so having a snow wolf as his like heartless boss, it just doesn't make sense in like the entire lore of the game.
Right.
That's funny. That's interesting. Okay.
And so that was basically the deep dive of it, is like Disney was trying to save face so much that they scrapped Tetsuya Nomura's idea for this world and just to, save Elsa, basically.
But that's just a theory.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching our reaction to Game Theory.
Yeah.
Next piece of news. How Blizzard is using machine learning to combat abusive chats. So this is the future now. Blizzard is now using an AI system. I don't know if it had been using it, but now we know about it. It's an AI system to recognize toxicity, and it does way more than just censoring bad words. And I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds like something that will get out of hand and out of control and starts censoring things that are non-offensive. Because that's exactly what the algorithm for YouTube has done. That whole adpocalypse and all that shit happened because the algorithm decided, one frame of one video had something in it that was offensive, and even people at Google were like, we don't know like what it's doing. It's just doing it on
Well,
its
it's just
own.
constantly learning. It's something that's going to always be unoptimal because machine learning is only so far advanced right now. We don't have true AI. So if it's not true AI, which again, if you ever do have true AI, it's going to be subjective just like humans are. But since it's machine learning, I mean, it's going to be wrought with errors and other stuff like that needs human oversight always.
Okay, so here are a few problems with abusive chat that Blizzard is solving with its AI system. So there's people saying like, fuck your mother. I don't have a mother, she died. I don't care. Fuck your dead mother. So there's people. So he's writing fuck by typing FU space CK. So it cannot censor him. And whatever system he thinks is in place will not be able to catch that. Sorry, this is from League of Legends. But it's just like a
typical
an
way
example.
To circumvent the toxicity.
Yeah, or saying something like, go make me a sandwich. So if somebody doesn't report this, that's just going to be something that will not go punished, even though it's something that should go punished, I guess.
Because Rainbow Six Siege is terrible with it, honestly.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, they just have a list of no words that gets you banned.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Right, and then they just circumvent it with numbers or spaces or whatever.
Let's see here. You fight like a dairy farmer? What the fuck does that even mean? So I don't exactly know what, like, they did a terrible job with this article. Tell me what the AI does. Blizzard.
I don't think they do. They don't know.
It kind of seems
point.
like it's all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's all speculation. So it's just Blizzard saying that they're now using an AI to combat toxicity.
Well, at least they're training it. Not sure if it's.
I mean, I feel like that's at least like them trying to put forth some effort. I feel like is better than what most people are doing because, like, I don't know if you guys are on YouTube all that much, but YouTube has just been like banning comments, right?
Yeah.
Like not banning individual comments, but just taking comments off of videos.
Yeah.
Like there was that whole thing in the news with what was it? It was like a hate speech, like a hate speech summit before the Senate that they were live streaming on YouTube, and everybody that was commenting was just commenting like hateful shit. And so rather than like banning the individuals, they just ban the chat for everyone. And it's like, well, then like the people that are like spreading hate win. Because now nobody else has a voice because they just ruined it for everyone.
Yeah. And it's the problem with all this stuff is we've talked about it in the past. This whole like what's bad and what's a bad word, what's a good word, it's all subjective shit. That okay symbol, like am I going to get banned from Twitch because I'm doing this right now? Like I don't know. It's the okay symbol for hundreds of years and now it's a white power symbol and it's all just subjective shit. You know what I mean? And it's a slippery slope. That's all it is. Everyone's worried like what direction are we going in? Will it get to the point where like, we can't even have a chat, because people are going to be like having a chat is more detrimental to someone's mental health than the ability to communicate. Like the scale has tipped in that way. You know what I mean? And it's a problem with all these tech companies. They all have each other's back with this shit and they're kind of like competing with each other to show like we have the safest space for our consumers. And like it's this virtue signaling and crazy shit going on instead of tackling the real problem that, shit like this is going to exist in the world. You have to find like an internal way to deal with it. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see how this AI goes. But let's move on. Next piece of news. All right. Speaking of genderless robots, A Chinese company says its automatic sperm extractors helping clinics collect semen from donors reluctant to masturbate in a hospital setting.
Hell yeah, boy.
Let's take a look at this, guys.
The future is now.
I mean, look at this thing, dude. Look at it go, dude. If for our podcast listeners, it looks like it's like an obelisk.
machine.
It's an obelisk or like a tower, and in the middle of the tower is this like fleshlight looking attachment that goes in and out like hydraulic style, and it pretty much you just put your peener there and it does all the work for you.
I'm just wondering, they're all lined up against the wall. Do I have to stand there just in a line of other dudes with their dicks in these things?
It
or
looks like it. I mean, at least
like,
put a stall,
if
you know?
you're somebody that doesn't want to, I don't know what I can say on Twitch. If you're somebody that doesn't want to, relieve yourself to donate or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like I assume it's a donation.
It's for sperm donors.
That's what it's
yeah.
for,
Okay,
sperm
okay,
donators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're already like not wanting to do it yourself, like
Mhm.
why the fuck would you want to stand next to 6 other guys like you're at a urinal and have that happen to you?
I'm sure they're not actually lined up like that. When you use it.
I understand too, but like at the same time, I hope they're at least in private rooms.
Well, in this video, it looks like it's like a demo, and there's like a bunch of them
Yeah.
lined up.
Oh
Did-
yeah, these are definitely demos.
Did they expect anyone to go like and try it out? You know,
Go
like
test it out, big boy.
Dad says, Ty, we're moving to Japan. It's in China, Dad.
yeah,
It says
Wow.
right there, a Chinese company.
yeah.
Wow.
But your dad's like, I'll never live with any Chinamen. But the Japs are cool.
Jobs are close enough. He'll fly over, use the Chinese ones.
I'll fly it out. All right, that's it. Close enough. Exactly. They got the same eyes. Anyway, yeah, that's
Close
it.
enough.
Everyone's making memes about how this is Hal from that movie.
Hell
Just what do you
yeah.
think you're doing, Dave? I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. So that's fun.
I mean,
That's fun.
the future is here, boys.
That's
This
it.
is one step closer.
This is
We're one step
I
closer.
feel like this is better than haptic dick sleeves. You know what I mean? But I still want the haptic dick sleeves. We'll get it. one
Yeah,
day.
I don't think this is better than haptic dick sleeves, John. This is
Okay.
just a step closer to our haptic dick sleeves.
Hey, has your boss ever wanted to know what your pregnancy is like? Women out there? Well, Activision does.
Wait, what?
Activision Blizzard wants to know how its employees' pregnancies are going. So,
Is that a context thing?
no, I'll tell you exactly what's going on.
Let's get a little bit more context there.
So I've
Yeah,
read this
please.
article. I've actually read the article, so I will tell you guys exactly what's going on.
Good.
For
thank you,
some reason unknown to the public, Activision Blizzard is collecting data on pregnant women, and they're bribing their employees. They're saying, "Hey, if you're pregnant, we have this app that you can use that reports to us whatever your pregnancies are like. Are you having contractions? Are you in pain? Whatever the app says. And for every day that you sign into this app, we'll give you $1 gift card." Okay,
A
so
$1 gift card, or like
for each
I
day.
hope they don't pay it. I hope they don't pay it out like that. I hope it goes like a monthly thing.
I have no
right,
idea.
I would assume it's a monthly thing, which means you do it every day. That's $31.
Yeah. So they pretty much are just doing it. They've told people, this is nothing malicious. We're just wanting to collect data for our own research purposes, for marketing, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I mean, it may not even be. Yeah, they could say marketing. I mean, this could also be. The context is a little weird and it's a little vague. But I mean, this could also be something as a positive thing because maybe they're doing internal research about the pregnancies of women in the workforce so that maybe they can better accommodate such things. You know what I mean? For their
So
own employees. This could be
I-
an altruistic thing. Unlikely, but it could be.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's similar to like what Netflix does, because Netflix, from what I've heard, I don't know how accurate this is. This is all from what I've heard, but I've heard Netflix will actually give you a year off for maternity leave, a year.
Wow.
Paid-
That's amazing.
Could be.
That's
And
amazing, dude.
That and that's Netflix. So it's possible that Activision could be collecting this data to. I mean, they say it's not malicious, and I want to assume, what they say about assuming, but I want to assume it's not malicious, right?
Yeah, I
But
think it's just marketing data. Like, we live in a data age now. Everything is all about data. They just want to know what you like, what you click on, what websites you go to. This could just be a part of that. They have a plan for what they want to do with this information. Maybe they want to tap into a female market, and they think the best way they can do it is knowing more information about something only females can go through. You know, maybe. I'm just speculating. But Prince is asking, is it for a game or for determining maternity leave accommodations for pregnant employees? Who knows? Who knows? It's just strange. It's weird, and
it's odd. But I mean, the hope, of course, is that it's the latter. That it's data mining for, data mining, IRL data mining.
That's what
determining, maternity leave accommodations for employees, because that could be a very positive thing.
Yeah.
And Ty, it seems like you are correct. Netflix parents do get a paid year off.
Yeah.
Amazon pays for spouses' paternal leave as well. So it looks like Netflix actually has the most weeks paid of maternity leave out of all the major tech companies by far, beating Microsoft by 30 weeks.
Wow.
I don't want to get political, but I think Trump just signed something that paternity leave will be extended a little longer too.
Whoa, Trump did something good. Not political, by the way.
I just said I didn't want to get political. You know?
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to go a little farther.
It was related. It was related.
No.
That's why I brought it up.
All right.
I mean, these are important issues and this could be a sign that, we're seeing larger companies trying to do something about that, to fight the exploitative nature of corporate capitalism in the first place.
Yeah, and also it's voluntary, this thing. So
right, they're not stalking their female employees who are pregnant. Write notes.
It's just an odd thing to ask your employees to do, but if it's an agreement, it's like, hey, it's voluntary and we'll pay you for it. So that's it. I mean,
like, at least it's better than like the news about Riot Games and their female employees, right?
Right.
100%.
Compared to that, I mean, this is the fact that we can speculate that this is a good thing at all is way different than Riot's issue with their female employees.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just how it goes. What's wrong with just slapping an ass or two,
What's wrong with a little ass slap?
That's it, just like, hey, how you doing, honey? Anyway, next piece of news. Let's move on. Slasher writes, things got heated at the NBA 2K League. I'm looking forward to the first full-on brawl. Did you guys see this?
No.
So at the NBA 2K League,
fake basketball.
Well, first of all, I want you guys all to relax.
A lot of people.
It doesn't get as heated as you would think, but here's the video.
So it's just getting hyped.
Yeah, they just went in after the game was over to shake hands, and then that guy pushed that guy, and then
hell yeah,
there was a lot of whoa, 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 whoa. And
wait,
that was it.
I didn't. Oh, so he legitimately shoved him.
Yeah. So
hell yeah, video game nerds fight, boys.
Pay attention to Green Guy. It looks like Green Guy didn't want to shake the first guy's hand. The first guy offered to shake hands. Obviously, Green lost, so he decides not to shake his hand and instead shoulder bump him. And it seems like Red Guy might have said something like, "Oh, fuck you, bitch," or some shit that set Green Guy off. Even though it 100% looks like Green Guy's in the wrong. Like, he was being the bad sportsman.
No, he absolutely was.
Yeah,
it does seem that way, but the context is so unclear because, I don't know. It could have gone either way. Maybe, like, the red guy was supposed to move to the other side as they passed each other.
Yeah,
and he was purposefully in his way to bump into... we don't know the context. Yeah. So... I don't know.
You're right. We don't. But
more context or not.
We don't know the context, and there was security right there in the middle of them, like right away. Which is crazy.
They could also, have some other interpersonal conflict or relationship before this.
Yeah, it could just be shit talk that just went too far too. That's all it is.
Either way, heated gaming moments are happening at a professional level. And thank God, boys.
Thank God.
So,
I've been waiting for this shit, dude.
I think that's kind of fucked, honestly. Like, obviously there's no context, right? We're just watching a clip and we don't know like the backstory or whatever. But any type of thing where you compete, it's polite to shake hands. Say like
sportsmanship.
You don't have to say good game or anything. Like, you don't have to like suck each other off or anything. But you could at least shake the other person's hand.
You gotta shake a little hand, slap a little ass.
But you know what, man? Now nobody gave a fuck about NBA 2K League, but now maybe people will pay attention to it more because they're like, "Ooh, there's drama." We're
put your tinfoil hats on. This is all constructed,
dude.
By the people in charge to create hype around the game league.
Listen to me. That's how Conor McGregor got so popular in the UFC is from his shit talking. his shit talking and getting into his opponent's head, and that's what people got addicted to. And maybe this is the same kind
Yeah,
of
but now
thing.
he's got rape allegations against him. So I mean, how's that really going for him?
Yeah, I know. And he got wrecked in his last fight. But both guys were fined $500 each. Thank you, by the way, because I mean, come on, they're gamers. Relax, don't fucking get crazy with the fines. And then, suspended for 1 game. Do you guys know how this NBA 2K League works? It's actually officially run by the NBA. So what they do is they have their own.
Cool.
Each team has their own 5-man esports team that represents their team. So this was the Celtics versus the Talon, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're represented by the NBA. So the NBA has their own policies and stuff like that. So they just fined them and did what they had to do.
I mean,
that's
good.
crazy.
They do deserve. Like, there does need to be some punishment, and I like that they just went ahead and fined both people, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it is
'Cause,
really cool.
Even by the look of it, I mean, they both got aggressive. Yeah, I don't know the full story, but it could be seen as both were involved. Therefore, both could be fined.
Yeah, see, Gorilla says, what the fuck? That's actually really cool. That's that whole thing. Like, it is a really cool thing, but no one knows about it because no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the coolest thing, though.
Well, like, to be fair, like when I think of like NBA 2K or like FIFA or like those games and the competitive aspect, I always just assume it's one person like taking control of all the people. So
I've never seen this like 5v5 situation.
Yeah, I've never seen that either until this clip.
Yeah, they
So
now
pretty
these
wild.
games like FIFA's one of them too. You can have one guy doing one role in the team. Like, you can have one guy be the goalie, and the whole time he's just waiting like a goalie really would. So this is along the same line. It's a 5v5. One guy's one position, one guy's the other position. It's cool. I like that, but I could not give a fuck. Yeah, like Prince said, they do 11 versus 11 in FIFA.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, but sports, Anyway, next piece of news.
What?
Jason Schreier writes about this new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. Have you guys seen it?
Oh man.
The trailer came out. I have not seen the trailer yet.
I'm so excited.
I did see the Rise of Skywalker trailer though, the Episode 9 one.
Okay, let's see here.
So I've got opinions on that, but not on the game.
So Jedi Fallen Order, it is a new game by Respawn, the same people that made
so
Titanfall and Apex Legends. They've been working on this secretly. It's a single-player Star Wars game, and the story is the game will star a Jedi Padawan who survived Order 66 and the destruction of the Jedi Order. So it's him and a bunch of the Jedis that survived just getting together and doing what they can.
That's an interesting timeline. Not many games have done that timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the timeline, the setting, and everything. Also, Cameron Monaghan is playing the main character.
Who's Cameron Moynihan?
Yeah, can you
That's
I can Google.
He's the Joker in Gotham, and he plays Ian Gallagher in Shameless.
So who gives a fuck? No,
I just think it's cool having like actors anytime
this
they do
guy.
that kind of thing. Like I like the aspect of having actors actually perform in these
like
video
high
games.
profile actors.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool thing to do because I think it really ups the like production value when you have actual people, not just actors in general. I mean, like anyone actually performing it.
So what do you think about Call of Duty?
It's really cool.
Call of Duty then.
What about Call of Duty?
Call of Duty.
It has real actors and shit.
If it does, that's cool. I mean, I didn't play any of the Call of Duty stuff like that.
Did you ever play the original Black Ops campaign?
No, I never played any of the Black Ops shit.
Oh, yeah, because Sam Worthington was the main character.
Oh, dope.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that kind of stuff is really cool because I just think it escalates like the level of production, or it just shows like an escalation of the production value and care going into games like this, especially in a storied aspect. Like this is just a story trailer we're getting, and it's got me fucking hyped for it.
Yeah,
because
I like
it looks like they've put a lot of effort into the main core, which is going to be the story.
Yep, I like it. I
Right.
love it. I mean, this
Especially in a
looks sick.
single-player game.
Look at these.
Yeah, it
Look at
is.
this CGI, dude. It's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, but see,
I'm
that's
excited.
I don't know. Like trailers like that. Yeah, they're super cool. They're super hype. But I'll wait for gameplay. Right.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same people that made Titanfall and Apex Legends, so it's going to be well made as far as like graphics and gunplay and combat. Like they've got it down with their other games, so I don't see why they wouldn't be able to get that down. But as far as like writing, who knows? I don't know. I don't know how well the writing is in Titanfall. I don't know if it's one of those things that has stuck with people over time. I don't know. But that's one thing about single player games. If the story's not good, then I mean, what are we doing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks cool. I like the idea of it. I like that Respawn gets to do it. It's cool.
Yes, I'm excited because if they do this really well, and it looks like they're putting in the effort from this at least storied trailer.
Yeah.
If it's done really well, if people like it, if there's good reception, hopefully that means we'll get more Respawn Star Wars games. I really like Respawn as a studio. I think they do really good work. So I'm excited.
Imagine if they did the next Battlefront. That would be sick.
Hell yeah.
All
Wall running a Battlefront, boys.
That's it. All right. So good for them. We wish them the best. It's great news. Everyone's excited about it. So let's see what happens. One of his first lines, Kevin Spacey is in COD Ghosts. One of his first lines is something about a middle school. Yikes. If only they had known. All right. Take-Two dropped its lawsuit over Red Dead Redemption 2's Pinkerton agents. I mean, not much to talk about here. I think we move on.
I don't think I even know what they're even talking about.
We talked about it back in the day. Take-Two decided that they were using their IP and their story, and then I guess it got dropped. So once everyone forgot about it.
Money.
We'll do two more, and I think that's it. Let me see. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this one next. Tencent have launched their Wii game client outside of China.
Hell yeah.
And if
So
anybody...
that's just their platform?
Check out my this Shang Tsung saying it has begun.
Nice. Yeah, it's just the
I did see that this morning on Twitter.
Dude.
Yeah. We chat, we game, whatever like that stuff is. That's like the Tencent overlord corporation.
Yeah.
That's part of everyday life of every aspect of Chinese culture.
Wii game is their Steam.
They do everything through like WeChat and the Wii Tencent network.
Yeah.
We're talking like mortgage payments. We're talking like what Facebook does. We're talking about like everything.
Well, that could
And
be
the-
good
and-
too, though, right?
It can be good, but it's also...
I mean, it can be. It depends on really how you look on it, and then what the company does. And
The
other
thing
stuff
is,
like that.
the reputation of Tencent is that they have close
Pretty
ties with the Chinese government. And
Well, yeah,
that-
you can't operate on that level without having close ties to the Chinese government.
and they've gotten super powerful in China, and the only way you can get that super powerful and have that much reach is if the government pretty much lets you do it. So the idea is the unspoken thing is they have a deal with the Chinese government that, hey, we'll give you all the data you need from our users as long as you let us keep operating in this monopolizing way. And so far, it's been happening. I mean, they've even dug their talons into American companies. They own Riot Games. They have holdings in Activision Blizzard, Ubisoft, and 40% share in Epic Games. And
Yeah, I mean, I would probably even go a different way than what you described it. I would probably go as far to say as Tencent is probably an extension of the Chinese government.
yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And that's what's the scary part of it. They just own so much shares, and the way that it happened was they literally would walk up into the office of whoever owns these shares and put a checkbook down and say, write a fucking number, dude. Write a number in that little box, and it's yours for your shares. And that's what they did. They went around, and that's how they have all this. They own all these things. And since till now, they've only had their apps and stuff like that in China. So their control has mostly been in China, but it looks like they're expanding now. So that's the scary part of it. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, it could work in reverse too, right? Because from what I've read and seen, China censors a lot of the stuff that you can see online.
Mm-hmm.
But by
Correct.
opening up your thing to a global market now, they're going to have a harder time trying to censor everything.
Well,
I feel like
they only care about censoring their own people. They don't give a shit about censoring everybody else. They want to have control of their region, and they want to have information on their allies and their enemies. And that's all it is. It's the information age now. It's all about data. It's all about knowing what American people buy, what American people want, what Western cultures like, so that they can I mean, I know we're getting into conspiracy theory, but it's been proven that they have these fucking
They're putting something in the water that turns
Dude,
frogs gay.
they have these hacker networks that just straight up just siphon data. I mean, we've all had our accounts compromised by some kind of Russian hacker or something, some weird shit. And it's like they just want your data. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just like, our push for 5G infrastructure.
Yeah.
The U.S. government and all other like major tech companies.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was any ever legal ban, but they basically took a pledge to say, nobody's going to use the Chinese company Huawei, any of their infrastructure for the 5G networks.
Yeah.
Right. Or any of their devices for the 5G networks, because that company, of course, just like any large Chinese company that's doing well, has ties in with the Chinese government, and everything that they produce has backdoors for the Chinese government.
Yeah.
And they're not going to put in compromised technology in United States infrastructure for the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So
all I know is a lot of people smarter than me have warned everyone about this kind of thing. Just be careful with, be careful with using Huawei or Yahweh or whatever the fuck it's called.
Watch out for them Chinese is what John's saying.
Dude, they're coming after
John's
you, man.
just a racist.
If I suicide myself, then you know that it wasn't me, all right? It was Tencent. They came to my house and they murdered me, all right? It'll happen. Dead air. Very nice. When I was drinking water.
They're gonna silence the wise.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll be John the Dead, dude. That's what I'll be. But
John the fucked.
All right, that's it. I mean, we have a few other little pieces of news. Nothing crazy.
I'm pretty sure that word is still pronounced Yahweh.
Yahweh. Yahweh is what the Yiddish word for God.
Yeah, everybody knows that, but I'm pretty sure that's how the Chinese company is pronounced in English. But
Let's find out. How is Yahweh pronounced? It's like the first thing. Oh, it's pronounced Huawei.
Huawei. Oh, excuse me. I was like barely one sound off.
You uncultured swine. All right, I'm dying. I'm dying. My throat is killing me right now. I think we're done. We're done with the podcast, guys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, TeeWhy, Ty, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate you being on the podcast. Plug your shit, dude. When do you stream? What do you stream? How do you stream?
I always stream. No, I usually stream late nights, weekdays. Usually, like not so much now. It hasn't been World of Warcraft for a while, but I might start streaming World of Warcraft again. Division, League of Legends. I usually do some informational League of Legends stuff. I used to be platinum when the game was a lot different.
Damn. So that means your penis is huge.
Obviously, that's what that means.
So weekdays, like what time usually?
I usually go 5 Pacific Standard Time until about 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Ooh, nice. That's a grip.
Yeah, right. You can find me on Twitter at TeeWhy.
Yeah. TeeWhy TV.
Yep.
Where's the GG? I thought it was TYGG. You mean?
So I kind of felt like on Twitter, I was taking a gamble here, mostly because TYGG was taken. But the way I figured it was if I promoted TeeWhy TV on Twitter, people would know I had a Twitch account. But at the same time, I feel like that's also bad because then they're going to look for TeeWhy TV on Twitch.
Yeah, that's what. Just tell people what to look for. That's the best. That's my advice, at least. So that way they know exactly what.
TYGG was also taken on Twitter, so I was kind of forced into doing something different. So I figured the next best thing would be TeeWhy TV.
It is. That is the next one. Yeah. All right. Well, TeeWhy, you guys can find him. He's in my Discord too. So let's get his link in chat if we can to check that out.
You didn't prepare that, John?
I did not. Sorry. There's two other people here, and I have mods.
Fire the manager.
Here, let's find them. Twitch.tv/TeeWhy.
Yep, TYGG.
All right. That's it. Copy paste into chat. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure TeeWhy isn't streaming right now.
Well, no, I'm on the podcast.
I know. So, I got a new Prime loot. What is it? Nothing. Debated. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. Czar, is there anything that you wanted to plug?
No.
And Ty, you don't have any like YouTube or anything right now?
No, I'm thinking about it, but at the same time, then like I either have to edit my own stuff or find my own find somebody to edit my stuff, and
Yeah.
okay, it's working.
Pay Kaiser.
I get it. Yeah, pay Kaiser like $10 an hour. I mean, that's what he gets to translate.
Translate for the e-girl. That's right.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you
I
can.
I wish I knew.
I'll
another
double it. So yeah, other than that,
Kaiser,
you guys
come back.
That's it. We're on YouTube as well and Spotify. We are now on Spotify. You just have to do a little bit of digging to find us on Spotify. Make sure you go to the Show All section and scroll down. I've talked to their support. They're working on it. That was the last thing they told me. I think they're lying. So we'll see exactly what the fuck happens. I haven't checked actually. Let me see. Let's check live. Well, I'll check off the podcast. But anyway, Wise and Sassy podcast is also on there. Make sure you guys check that out. That's me and my wife just talking shit, having a good time. And I'm streaming every day, 3 p.m. Pacific. Almost every day, Monday through Friday. Well, it's actually whatever the fuck I want to play. Sometimes it's Risk of Rain. Sometimes it's Apex Legends. Sometimes it's all kinds of stuff.
On my phone, it always says Apex Legends.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad that that's what it says. I wanted things like that to pop up on people's phone. That's literally why I did it. Just a bunch of hot guys.
On my phone, it just fucking hot dudes in my area.
Yeah.
Apex Legends.
My title was Hot Dudes in Your Area.
Here we go.
I love that notification. Dude, I love that the notification in people's phones is Hot Dudes in Your Area. I just love that. Yeah. That just brings so much joy to me. I have my YouTube as well, John the Wise, and the Point and Click podcast, but I will be making a Cyberpunk video soon. I'm working on it right now and trying to see what I can do with that market. All right? Other than that, hope you guys have a wonderful week. Special thank you to Ty and his dad and everything. We'll see you guys next week. Bye! Very nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. Azar Salesman.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smells like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh,